is now time to talk with Kay McMahon. She is the Life Enrichment Director for the Avalon of Commerce Township. Thank you so much for joining us this morning, Kay.
Hi, Maddie. Thank you so much for having me.
Kay, can you start off by explaining your role at the Avalon and how you work to impact your residents there?
Of course. I've been with the Avalon of Commerce Township for about 2 years in June. I'm the Life Enrichment Director, so I'm responsible for the livelihood of the community, creating activities and engaging events to bring people together, which has been quite difficult during the pandemic, of course, when we're easily encouraged to keep everybody apart. We've definitely had to find creative ways to go about getting everybody to stay connected and to continue to make aging creative in a pandemic has been interesting, especially with all the protocol in place. But we definitely find a way to make it purposeful and individual and keep our activities coming out safely and responsibly.
Kay, in a day-to-day, what types of tasks and responsibilities do you work on at the Avalon in Commerce Township?
Aside from creating a booming schedule of events and making sure that our little cohorts of families and community members here are safe, I'm responsible for putting out a calendar activities that reflect the livelihood of the community, which encompass every topic from spirituality to physical well-being, purposeful living, intellectual vitality, and then of course your fun social engaging things that we just can't break away from, like bingo and happy hour and a good old Elvis impersonator.
Kay, how have you seen the ongoing pandemic impact your role at the Avalon?
It's been absolutely unique. The pandemic, like I said, I've been in a community for about 2 years now. I come from generally running a senior center out in municipality type areas, but I saw the need in assisted living once the pandemic hit, especially when we're so close together and forced to stay apart. We've had to get creative by utilizing carts, doing things in the hallway, maybe at our doorways where we're in smaller groups, hallway fitness. It's been hard with the masking, the keeping of the distance, all the protocol that's in place for precautionary measures, but there's still a need for purpose for these residents and for senior citizens who are aging. And I try very hard to still have that same bubble-hearted attitude and go and greet with grace and knock on doors. And kind of the biggest thing for a life enrichment director, I think, during a public health crisis is the overall morale. I know there's a lot of people focused on the health and the precautions and the things like that, but I think it's also very vital at this time to have someone who's focused on the happy and who's focused on the growth that we can come out of in this and finding creative ways to age in place. And I think that with all the protocol and the differences we've seen in the pandemic impacting my role, I think more than anything, it's really challenged me to rise to the occasion.
With the ongoing pandemic and your role as the Life Enrichment Director there at the Avalon, what types of fun things do you guys have in store for those residents, either for the rest of this month or going into the rest of the year?
Yeah, so going into the rest of the year, we have a very big focus on getting out of our apartments, getting out of our community, and actually getting out of our apartments and into our community and maximizing the spaces that we have that long ago we used to, have our family members booming down the halls and being able to visit freely. We're looking forward to those things, but in the coming month of February, we're looking forward to having, like I mentioned earlier, Elvis impersonator coming in, and we have a high tea scheduled with Brighton Hospice alongside live music and happy hour. We haven't seen that in a little bit, so it's been nice to hear that booming through our halls again, and you can hear the anticipation for all the oncoming Valentine's things that we have planned, so it's been great.
Kay, for you personally, how has your role as a Life Enrichment Director there at the Avalon impacted you, especially you talked about your bubbly personality throughout the ongoing pandemic. Can you give us a little bit of an insight into how your role has impacted you personally?
Yeah, absolutely. It's been a monumental impact on a personal level. I strive very hard to keep people connected with their loved ones in a time where there's no other outlet for that. And it's been very, there's been days where it's been hard to hold the hands of loved ones, which family members cannot. to run into the fire when other people seem to be running out. It's a lot on your shoulders, but I feel like when you're called to do it, and I think that right now, all of these people and all of these older adults, they really do need just that bubbly, lighthearted, whiffed in the wind. And I'm happy to be here and learn that that's needed.
Kay, as we wrap up, is there anything else you'd like to share either about your role as a Life Enrichment Director or about life at the Avalon?
Yeah, absolutely. One more thing. So we're still thriving and we're ready to get out there, and we're fully ready for all of our activities in the year to come, and we're hiring on our enrichment team. So if you feel called to do this too, feel free to reach out to me.
Thank you so much for joining us this morning, Kay.
Of course. Have a great day.
Thank you, you too.